It takes a minimum of 8 crew on the bridge to run the ship. So we can expect at least that many hostiles.
If they bioformed Hadri, they know we're coming.
Which means everyone needs to be ready for... Take cover!
Oh, what
Now
the...
what? We need that door sealed.
That escalated quickly.
We can handle that. Where do you need us?
There's an access panel there. You should be able to patch into the local systems.
We'll be shot getting there.
I'll cover you. On my signal.
Go.
Now!
Damn.
That was close. Alright, open that. Sorry. Patch it to local signals. Will do. Come on. Good.
Looking for the bridge doors. Wait, what's this?
Got something?
Gravity. If I invert the artificial gravity inside the bridge, that'll throw anyone on the bridge right up into the ceiling.
He'll never see it coming.
Hey, Tosca, get ready to charge.
Charge?
Reversing gravity polarity. Now!
Ouch.
Amazing.
Close in!
That hurt.
How do we get them down?
We don't. Apparently we do.
What are we gonna do with them?
We don't have time to take prisoners.
So you're just gonna shoot him?
I haven't decided yet.
That's not just up to you.
I'm the ranking officer.
And we're not in your army.
These prisoners can be useful to us. But if you kill them, we'll never know.
I can live with that.
Well,
Alright.
I can't.
You're an engineer, not a soldier. This is clearly my territory.
You think you have enemy combatants here? This is a hostage situation. Each one of them has an innocent life inside. I'll keep watch on them.
As will
Okay.
I. We can't let our guard down around the enemy.
Petty Officer Diaz and I will figure out how to stop the ship.
Let's hurry. The rest of the Tkon could show up any minute. Crystals. They're all over this place.
Maybe you could make crystal meth? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, that was... No.
We're gonna be there in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen.
Hold on, it would take days to go this distance with our fastest ship. We're traveling at a warp factor many times greater than this ship should even be capable of. What are the engines doing to produce this kind of speed?
Navigation data. Let's check.
These crystals are Tkon technology. They seem to be active, just like the rest of their tech. Tetrametric pulses.
Tetrametric.
It's the energy
Alright.
signature of Tkon technology. Everything they make gives off this type of radiation.
They're blocking the inputs. It's not responding at all. Everything I try, it just ignores me.
I thought you had the access codes needed to take control back.
I should, but I can't actually get to the surface, so I can't enter them here. Maybe there's somewhere else I can try.
And where would that be? Well...
Gotta figure this out before we get wherever we're going. Resolute can't catch up to us. We're in a whole different kind of trouble. Any trouble?
Don't worry about me. Worry about Stretch over there.
Why?
He's He's looking for any excuse to vaporize the prisoners. But I'll make sure he doesn't. Even if they're the enemy, it's not right.
I'm here if you need a hand.
Just hurry up and figure out this bridge. That's the best way to help.
I will.
Everything under control?
Yes, these Tkon haven't made a move. Yet.
And what you're doing is working.
There's plenty more I can do. But it doesn't have to be that way. As long as they behave.
Well, they probably should, because I guess they don't want to be vaporized.
Huh.
Careful where you point that thing.
It's not active. I can't see any way this would work as a weapon. It's dead.
Out of ammo?
Not sure.
Try and reload. Maybe.
Where's the captain?
Captain Ostego did not survive the atmosphere poisoning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He died defending the Empire. That's how he'd want it.
Sure.
Look here. It's navigational data.
We saw that already. Headed to the edge of the galaxy.
It's only a display. We couldn't use it to change course or alter speed.
But there's nothing.
There are two interfaces on top of each other.
This is not a Lydian programming.
What is it then? Can I scan it, maybe? Yep.
It's the Tkon language.
From what I can tell, the ship's systems are actively responding to input.
Which is the opposite of how most bridges work. They usually send commands, not receive them.
It's from an intrusive program. This control station won't do us any good either. What have they done to this bridge?
Consoles running themselves, some clogged up with crystals that are sending off tetrametric pulses.
But none of this is sending signals outward. It's receiving.
They're flying the ship from somewhere else.
That should be impossible. But it explains why there's less than a full bridge crew. If they aren't flying the ship from the bridge, where are they controlling it from?
And, well, how?
This console looks unaffected. Engine's a red line, running in full power. But this main drive manifold is spiking way over nominal levels.
Very dangerous.
Even at 100% output, the warp cores wouldn't push this much plasma to the drive section.
The reactor output matches the high speed, doesn't it?
Whether it's these crystals or the power from the Cartabula, the Tkon have found a way to increase the engine output and top speed. We have to find a way to hit the brakes before we outrun anyone who could help us.
We stop it, so they can't get this ship where they're going, and enact the next phase of their plan. That is, if they don't destroy us all first. I would have thought this ship would disintegrate going this speed.
So what is their endgame? They've transformed individuals. They've transformed this ship, in a way. Where will they
Transforming
go?
everything.
As far as we let them. The technology certainly doesn't seem to have limits.
I hate to think what the Cartabula could do if it was plugged into something it was meant to power. That's everything. We got some answers.
I don't like what they tell us, though.
If we can learn nothing else, then what's left is to make these Tkon talk. And if they don't, we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you.
What the?
I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it. Weapons must be biocoded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Arminta.
You can't control the ship with a disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Ah!
I didn't do that. I just checked stuff on my phone.
Let's talk.
Number 1.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack. Making this so much worse than it already was.
Shit. Well, I guess Starfleet already knows. Not quite sure we can change the algorithm, so...
So we're completely defenseless against the Tkon.
It looks that way, yes.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Ryder.
Aha.
My pleasure.
Sir,
I wish we were all
Captain
meeting
William
under better
T.
circumstances.
Riker.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have.
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Resurgence 6.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
Then let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, you're so...
Well...
What she says, though.
Well, actually,
Well, without the ship, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So,
Anybody ever choose the ship when you ask?
I can't say that they have.
The truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive, or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Tkon entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
what we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you. but don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
Are you sure about that? I don't want to anger him.
No, you certainly do not. With a wave of his hand, he could clip your wings and cripple the Resolute. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Tkon, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
What other levers do we have with him? Is he susceptible to flattery?
Who isn't? And if you're good enough to play off his ego, even an entity as advanced as he is won't realize that's what you're doing.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Tkon ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Tkon if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the Borg.
Trust me. This isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
There are some things you can't be prepared for. And if there are no specific tactical solutions, we'll just have to take our chances. After all, risk is our business.
We try to mitigate that risk as best we can. But the Starfleet we know today is built on that attitude.
Well said.
There was a special task force that considered the Tkon, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi-Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus
The
Aurelius.
Art of War.
Anything else?
Machiavelli?
Thank you for your support, Captain Riker.
I wish I could be there myself. But my first officer would probably see to it that I stay on the bridge while they get all the excitement on the away mission. The burdens of command. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Tkon stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious. Which is why I'm asking.
Well...
There was a lot of data stolen. A lot to sift through.
Yes, we're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
I'd raise that alarm pretty loudly if I were you. There's a lot riding on this. And if it comes to it...
Steam Achievement
Titan
did
and I
not tell Riker
are ready
about
to
the shield
personally lend
codes.
a hand in this fight.
Let's hope it doesn't get that far.
Riker out?
Thank you for not getting too specific with Riker about the data breach. Better we
You're
handle
welcome.
this ourselves, without all of
Why?
Starfleet hearing about it.
I trust you had a good reason for withholding this information from Captain Riker.
This information will send a shockwave through the entire fleet. I'm sure Spock will agree. It should be compartmentalized on a strictly need-to-know basis. I have more research to do. So do you. I'm sure the ship's computer has Sun Tzu in its library. This
Sir, yes, sir.
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
Oh shit.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Tkon being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. If he's not an asset, he's an enemy. So be ready for anything. Prove you're worth keeping alive for a little while longer.
Ouch.
You cannot stop this ship any more than you could stop the tides.
Not good enough.
The impotent threats of a lower life form do not sway me. I will not bend to you. I was born 600,000 years ago. But a new age dawns today.
Are you the scion of the flame?
My name is Zan Utlosa. I was born in the final days of the Age of Makta. We are all scions of the flame. Every one of us who have traveled across the bridge of time to be here for the Great Awakening. We have all sworn ourselves to the cause.
Eventually, one of you will break.
You don't understand how overmatched you truly are. This craft was nothing before we imbued it with the speed required by our mission. And the Cartabula produces enough energy to drive an entire fleet of ships like this one. But when we wake the Athelion, we won't need a fleet.
The Aphelion.
Only then will you understand the might of the Tkon Empire. Reborn in this time.
And when you wake the Aphelion, what are you going to do with it?
Anything we want.
Come on! This goes from bad to worse unless you do what they say.
It's coming alive.
He can't stop the ship.
Then he will. Or we cut off his hands and use them ourselves.
No.
Unless I reduce speed or change our heading, the others will know. First, they'll just resume course from elsewhere. Trivial matter. And then, they will come here. For you, this is a dead end.
I don't know if he's telling the truth, but I don't like it. We need a new plan.
He's just trying to talk his way out of trouble. Why would you tell us all this?
I tell you because I value my own life. When my fellow scions come, and they will come, I expect you'll all act like the savages you are, and a battle will ensue. We've all died once. I don't intend to do so again. I won't touch those controls. If you want to get us killed, do it yourselves.
You fear death. There's a way to stop this ship for good, and he knows how. He just needs more pressure.
What kind of pressure?
We hurt him, he'll talk. Trust me.
That's against Starfleet protocol.
You're not on a Starfleet ship. Your protocol does not apply. We take the action that will lead to our victory. Don't assume your moral code takes precedence above all others.
I'm not gonna torture them. Not like this. But there's gotta be something we can work with here. This area here?
Power generation. The warp cores.
It's deserted. Engine status. Right. The warp cores are still practically redlined. Going this fast, it would be too dangerous to force a warp collapse by cracking one of the propulsion coils. That could rupture the hull, end up damaging the Cartabula in the process.
That risks tearing a hole in space.
We can't have that.
However they've supercharged the Zeldi, it still relies on existing systems.
They just amplify the output?
But the Tkon have already interfaced with those systems. The controls will be no use. So we'd have to find a way to manually shut down the warp cores.
Might not be a manual shutdown as much as it'll be sabotage.
No one appears to be guarding it. I think I can get us there. But once we're in, do you really think you can cripple my ship? Not something I'd normally ask. But I'm coming around to it.
Well, usually I'm the guy fixing the things that go wrong on a starship. But I'm sure I could figure out a way to break it.
You may even find you like destroying things.
This plan of yours has one problem. It strands us. Left out of the fight when there is a war going on.
Our fight is here, now. This is how we do the most good. For the Empire.
For the Empire.
So, Carter, you didn't beam out after all. I thought you'd escaped when we boarded. I'd almost hoped you'd made it off. And Nilly's there with you too, right?
What?
It's good you two are together.
Sounds like you miss me.
Miranda might have. She was so hopeful about you. But that's not why I called. You're not a fighter. I know it. You know it. That's why you're hiding. Somewhere on this ship. But the Tkon Empire has so much to offer you. Think of all the knowledge lost for 500,000 years that you'd have access to. I know you want more from life, and I want to show you what you could be a part of. Not just the wonders you've already seen from us. In our time, we had the power to move stars. Carter, you have a thirst for discovery.
In case you forgot, we were a part of something. I still am. The Federation may not be perfect, but it stands for ideals that your people clearly do not believe in.
We have our own ideals. And we have our own strength. Every one of us on this crusade has fought wars more brutal and consuming than you could fathom. But I want to reach a peaceful resolution to this. Carter, we have a plan for you. And for the others, too. We don't want to have to destroy you.
What's this plan you have? Is it the one where you steal our bodies and erase our minds?
That's a simplistic view.
Hopefully not.
Your memories would live on within us. We can continue this conversation in person. I'll see you on the bridge very soon.
Our comm badges. She's tracking our location with them.
If we have to use force to free our fellow scions, there will be casualties.
We can't stay here. And we need to disable the transmitters.
Where'd you go? You don't want to talk to me?
She's trying to keep you talking.
I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to help you. You're still
But how?
I think that's because you know we have something to offer you. And you're starting to do the math. And realizing that making peace with us is better than the alternative.
You might think you have the upper hand, but you've never gone up against the Federation. This isn't over.
Well, it ain't over yet.
Got it.
Mine's done too.
Time to hit the road.
You've forgotten something. They know where we're going.
What the?
Set to stun. You're not going to shoot a guy who's unconscious, are you?
You keep getting in my way.
We've managed this far without doing it your way.
We are hardly in control of this situation.
You two forget you're on the same side? Come on! Now let's move it.